Hello, Herbert Charles here. Well, it's that time again. It's week 13 and Maxx Bantz 3 is just around the corner. And to talk about that, please welcome to the Flat Chat podcast, One Take Jake Sparey. He is the voice of B8 Scops, and he is joining the podcast. Whoa. So much for me hosting this thing.
Hold on one didgeridoo here right now. First of all, Mr. Charles, we have to talk about the fact that it's not One Take Jake. It's hashtag Do You Mind, the observer of sim racing, Jake Sparey. Second of all, I like your accent. I think it's cool, but we all know that you are an Australian playing a Brit.
What is he talking about?
And finally, do you mind? I'm taking over this hush puppy.
No! God, please, no!
No! Hold on a didgeridoo? What? How rude! Mr. Sparey, I am shocked and appalled. Please, let me step in for my simple-minded yet sensitive colleague here.
About time.
Herbert, just breathe, buddy, just breathe. Don't let the bad man frighten you. It'll be okay. Now, I don't know what on earth is going on here, but hashtag, do you mind looking out for your manners, good sir? I thought you would have brought some respect with you. I thought you would show us, the ones you so callously sent from the docks of Portsmouth 200 years ago. I expect you would have shown us here on this wonderful island some more etiquette, decorum and civility as a symbol of your own national pride. Do take note that the irony here is that all three of those fancy-sounding words are in fact French, which does say a lot and works on many levels. But, in honour of Maxx Bantz number 3, Return of the Yeet, this is all one big stitch-up, obviously. We love you, Jake Sparey. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much, and of course, we're all here for a little bit of a laugh, aren't we? I mean, you get to talk to Herbert Charles. You gotta get your game talking, as it were. So it's nice to be here on the Flat Chat podcast, and I'm very excited to be here and talking about what it is going to be the greatest series alive.
Great to have you here. Let's welcome everyone to the Jake Sparey Special Edition podcast with the one and only hashtag Do You Mind, the observer of sim racing, Jake Sparey. In the wake...
Welcome, mate.
Welcome.
How you going, matey?
In
good to have you on.
Wake of the current political
Thank
landscape,
you.
I'm Matthew Norris, and it turns out I had the numbers in the spill to be back in the hosting chair. So you got me back, 3 hosts in 3 podcasts. You're doing well. Now my co-commentators for the Flat Chat podcast. Can I introduce Chris, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, Kessie, and JC loves the sound of his own voice just a little bit too much, Richards.
Oh, what a night.
And what a night it will be on Sunday coming up this week for this race. Very serious race, this one, isn't it, Jake? What's it called? The Max.
It is
Maxx
called
Bantz, mate.
Maxx Bantz 3 Revenge of the Yeet.
Yeet.
It's the most official, unofficial, controlled, out-of-control race this Earth has ever seen. Or as Jake likes to call it, the best worst race in best worst racing history. Go on, sir.
How did you spit that out?
How did I spit that? How did we spit Maxx Bantz out? Well, it's not just my idea. I have to preface this firstly because we were talking one day on the V8's online Discord. It was me and Reese Gardner coming up with an idea, and we like to shun out Simon Mazzomo in the conversations, but we have to mention that Simon Mazzomo was there because, you know, he gets very antsy when he's not with his girlfriend. But it was me, Reese, and Simon. We went, what could the worst possible race be? And we thought this up around 6 months ago, and we thought we'd do a reverse point system. So instead of gaining points for a championship, you'd lose points for a championship, and the last person to have points is the winner, to be like a reverse championship where the most points win.
Oh, that's
and basically,
a pretty good idea.
It was a pretty good idea, and we stemmed it from there, and we did our first Maxx Bantz in week 13 of March. We got about 20-odd drivers for that. And basically, we've snowballed from there. So every week 13, we have this big, crazy race called Maxx Bantz, and it's so much fun, and everybody goes full Banzai and Rex people. And the whole point is, it's just a whole lot of fun, and anyone, legitimately anyone, has a shot of winning.
Even me?
Mate, Kurt Stenberg, mate, I've got to call you out here. I mean, you're supposed to be running a team called Plebs Sim Sports, and you run away with the, I got to say, you did hold up the race a little bit at the end, but
He likes 13-minute last laps anyway.
yeah, I mean, it stuffed me, but it was damn good fun last time.
Of course it was.
So you actually, on the night you choose this, I'm sure we'll get into the format of the race in a bit, but it's not a predetermined position. You have some type of Wheel of Fortune thing going on to choose the position.
We have a spinny wheel. And that spinny wheel will be done on the half hour of this race because it's an hour-long race. We're at Suzuka Moto because we like very, very piddly and tight chicanes. We will have a wheel thrown at 30 minutes, and whatever position that is, from second back to about second last driving on the field, that's where you need to finish.
So can you do the wheel now or?
No. The wheel will happen during the broadcast. If we gave away the wheel now, nobody would watch for the wheel.
Is there any money incentive to make sure the wheel lands on a certain number?
Bribes.
Or can we create a money?
Bribes.
I mean, if we make the wheel heavy enough in a certain point, it's going to land somewhere.
If you're going to slip me money under the table, I may be able to sort something out for you.
Okay, so if I win, this is not discussed. Understood.
No. There's no recorded conversation of this at all.
No, this is all completely
besides
undercover.
the 30,000 podcast listeners out there.
30,000?
You heard nothing.
Yeah.
Mate, we've grown pretty big in the last week, Norrie. 30,000 listeners. Fantastic. But all of the money that goes to Mr. Sparey there, it is a pretty good deal. I mean, deal/bribe, because the trophy is none other than I've ever seen. The WinRAR trophy, well, I've just got given, I think I just received the trophy because it's just a PNG, really, isn't it?
Hold it.
Hold it. I can't. It's just a
Hold it.
digital thing, guys. What's going on
You're
here?
Print it
not
out and
trying
hold
hard
it.
enough.
It's a picture.
David
Jake,
Haynes.
it's a
Put it on your
picture.
phone.
Can I,
It's a picture.
may I just say, David Haynes won the first Maxx Bantz. He printed out the picture and he put it on his fridge.
Wow. I'm sure.
Wow.
I'm sure that is the pride of the Haynes household. The
A
picture.
trophy you can
It
put in your
was.
fridge is pretty damn good.
Okay.
That's a new level of a trophy right there.
Yeah, I'd totally just rip off all the lovely paintings that my child has done and stick that massive Maxx Bantz picture on the fridge. For sure.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? I mean,
Easy.
it's the pride and joy of the house when you get the WinRAR trophy. There's no trophy like it in sim
Well,
racing.
I think that trophy with the PNG image of it is the best worst trophy in best worst trophy history too. So it's, keeping with the theme.
And of course, after 30 days, the trophy asks you that you need to pay to keep the license open, but you can still have the trophy
Oh,
anyway.
it gets better. Oh, no, glad I entered Maxx Bantz. Oh, dear. This is going to be great.
Oh, I'm going to have to reach out to some of my sponsors to, make sure that I can hold on to that.
So you got the contact for Jersey Boys?
Yeah. Oh, what a night.
You told me, or you told us, that you're driving. You are the mouthpiece of the V8s and sim racing community. What are you doing in the car? Are you going to commentate from the driver's seat? What's going on?
I'll be racing Maxx Bantz because I want to race it. I want to race the Cadillac. I want to invest myself in the action with everybody else because it allows me to do two very important things. The first important thing is it actually allows me to react in race and make decisions impromptu on the fly. The second is I can make a delightful speech before the racing and the broadcast happens, which not many people will be privy to, but I hope will be absolutely fun for everyone in the session to listen to. But more importantly than all of that, I'm racing because I want to give back to this community. I came into sim racing as a broadcaster before I actually became a racer, before I actually had my own iRacing account. I want to give back. I want to be able to race. I don't want to be someone who's just in sim racing, just leeching off of everything. I want to feel like I'm one of the boys as well.
What it actually does is it also gives you a chance to crash without it looking out of place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, easy. Easy.
Good call, Norrie.
Just a quick message to the broadcasting team, Jay, Fonty. I'm guessing you guys will listen to this, and I'm guessing you probably have the camera on, Jake, at specific times. Jake, have you got a button to press that sort of alerts them that you're about to do something?
I will scream like a maniac probably, but You know.
You know, Jake, after hearing everything you described about how you want to run it and your involvement in the race, I think what most of us, in Land of Oz and your commentary, and most of us that know you, mate, the thing we respect most about you is you don't really make it all about yourself, which is really admirable, don't you reckon, boys?
One of the most selfless guys in the community, there's no doubt there.
There's a level of class there.
It's very classy.
Stop it, guys. You're going to make me cry.
It's obviously emotional when you get this much praise.
I know.
That's
I
why
never
Max
get
Bantz-
this sort of praise. Never.
Self-praise is always good. But, you know, when you're racing in the car, you're going to be involved with some other drivers out there that, you do say some things that you don't hold back during the commentary. I don't want to use the word offensive, but some people are like a bit
Pauline Hanson, no filter.
Bit controversial, mate.
You're definitely not afraid to say what you want, and you're going to be on track with these fellows, mate. So how do you feel about that?
Well, my Twitch channel's still up, so I think I'm doing a good enough job.
Oh, you're doing fantastic, but you know that there's going to be plenty of opportunity to get T-boned by quite a few guys out there, mate.
I think I am King T-boner.
Okay, we'll see how it goes. This is good. This is good fight talk. It's getting juicy.
Everyone likes a good
I think it's riling the whole field up because there's going to be a chance to punt Sparey and be punted by Sparey.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you got a special livery on your car, mate? I've noticed last Maxx Bantz there was some pretty interesting liveries out there. Jake, maybe one with about 1,000 of your faces in the car.
There have been people who are making liveries about me, and my livery is currently being designed as we speak.
See what I was saying, boys? Doesn't make it about himself. It's the humbleness is just, it touches my heart.
Oh, I know.
It's going to be 1,000 Norrie faces, I think, on our car. So, keep your eyes peeled for that one.
Norrie's classier than
It
that.
should look pretty good. Yeah.
Let's be honest here. You go on to the Flat Chat podcast, you've got the legendary Herbert Charles, you've got JC, who loves himself almost as much as I do, and then you've got just Norrie.
Just Norrie. Yeah. What do you refer to me before as, Jake? The Woolworths brand version of your Harrods branding?
Yes.
We'll see.
Hey, Jake. So, how are you doing this on the wheel? Like, what sort of rim are you using? I mean, I know that you do a lot of broadcast stuff. I've seen a few photos of you with your microphone in your hand. I don't think I've ever seen a wheel.
I'm currently driving a Sony DualShock 3.
You're kidding me.
Is that a new brand?
Yeah, probably. They're getting back into sim racing thanks to Gran
the
Turismo.
direct drive wheels?
Yes.
It's going to be rivaling OSWs.
The cat's out the bag. I'm the biggest hypocrite in sim racing history. I drive on a PS3 controller.
Mate,
Wow.
surely with all the cash you make from your expanding illustrious commentary career, you can afford Phil Sell was on our podcast this week, and he had a Mad Catz bloody non-force feedback wheel. Madison Down used to use a skateboard to hold his G27. What's going on? Where are all the funds going, mate?
Well,
surely you get a wheel.
I could get a wheel. I do have a wheel. I have a wheel underneath my feet as we speak, which is a G29, but I do not have the room to put both my broadcasting gear and my wheel on the same desk at the same time. So unfortunately, the wheel has to be foregone so that I control everybody in iRacing and in the dev series as well with the fact that I drive on a controller. I love it. I love the fact that people, when they know that I'm on a controller, they go, "What? He's on a controller? Oh, that's outrageous. This is iRacing. This is the big leagues. This is where the big boys play, and you think you're playing it like it's some sort of game, sir? Well, I don't like you anymore, sir." No, it's not about that. You race on what you choose. I think Simeon Lynch got to about 5k iRacing on a pad. There have been guys up and down sim racing who have done very well and had very good careers when it's come to their choice. I'm just waiting for the person who gets to 4,000 iRacing racing on a flight simulator joystick. That's what I think about when sim racing, sort of gets to the meme level, as it were.
So, are you saying that your entire career in racing has been on a pad?
It has, yes.
So that means your entire career has been Maxx Bantz.
I am Maxx Bantz. What are you talking about?
I think we just hit Maxx Bantz Illuminati.
I mean, there was a real as Spider-Man, Batman, but It has been revealed. The big reveal. Jake Sparey is
Maxx
Bantz. You should join Altus Esports soon, Maxx Bantz. Altus Esports joins Maxx Bantz. Maxx Bantz.
I'm not into the eyeliner they put on their cars and their people.
Whoa. Sorry, Bo. That wasn't us. That was Jake, by the way.
Yeah. Bo and Simon, mate.
We don't offend here on the Flight Chat podcast, but...
I've got nothing against them, nothing against their eyeliner and where they put it, but it just doesn't suit me.
So is that like a secret? Do you reckon that Altus have? They've got a lot of pro drivers in that team. Do you reckon if we all chuck some eyeliner on, that might, it might be a bit of an awakening for our team?
An awakening, Cassie. That's a good way
unless
to
you
put
stab
it.
yourself in the eye.
I think the Jersey Boys for you was at a bit of an awakening. It awakened something deep inside Chris's heart, tore on the heartstrings,
what a night.
brought out some absolutely fabulous awakening, didn't it, Mr. Kessie?
I tell you what, though, Altus would probably be 2 tenths quicker because they'd save on their paint and the weight that the paint would add with how much eyeliner they have to apply every single meeting.
Oh wow, that's one of the teams that we need to get in. Actually, it's maybe are they competing in Maxx Bantz? Have you seen any of those?
I know Bo is.
Bo is, yeah, boy. All right.
So we've got an actual rundown of who's competing.
I've got an interested list. I don't have everyone who's wanted to submit it, and it's a very interesting list. We got likes of Corey Ott, Daniel Benefield. Bo Albert, we're talking Josh Nowak wanted to, but he's not going to be able to in the end. Likes of Dane's going to have a good charge at it again. Isaac Edwards,
Dane Warren is going to
yeah, Dane's going to be worrying. Got Neil Sinkowski wanting to run it again. Ross Rizzo, Mr. Maxx Bantz bridesmaid, Riley Blythe, because he's had 2 second-place finishes in the first 2 Maxx Bantz. He's still yet to get his first victory. The reigning champion returns, Keenan Kusin. I'd like to see how well he does this time, see if he's not just a one-off. Some nobody called Christopher Kessie may be running it. Some other
I don't know what that bloke's on about.
Who's that guy?
I don't know. There's some guy called JC Richards who's going to be racing, who I have no idea.
Never heard of him.
No, we've got Connery Maddock, who's going to be driving from RaceSpot TV. Phil Reed, who's very popular when it comes to Apex Online racing stuff. Fabrice Cornelis from Pure Racing Team. That's going to be a laugh. Some nobody called Matthew Norris. Is he related to Lando? I have no idea. And apparently...
He actually is related to Lando. Good story, that one.
There's also some famous world champion called Hugo Luis who's going to be racing.
So it's a mixed field.
It is very
and
mixed.
obviously it's going to be a series of the have and have-nots in cases of pace. Suzuka Moto, have you driven the circuit? Because I have, and I hate you for it.
Well,
I agree.
I have driven the circuit. I've driven the circuit with you. And the whole point about Maxx Bantz selections of track and car is that they are supposed to be as hate-inducing as possible.
Right, so when I take you out at turn 1, you know why.
No, because I'll be behind you in qualifying because I'm on a pad and I'll take you out.
Mate, I don't need to qualify.
And you'll know why.
I don't need to qualify. I can go to the back of the pack. This is easy for me. I just don't turn up.
I'll start from pit road.
Whoa.
It's a race to the back between Sparey and myself.
Oh, jeez. All right. Look, okay.
So the race goes for, how long is it? 1 hour? It's
An
1
hour.
Okay. Well, I reckon that there's going to be a lot of sweating. There's going to be a lot of bants. There's going to be a lot of crashes. One thing I don't think there's going to be is a lot of serious pace. Do you think that someone is going to go out there and try and, like, from what I've seen through other Maxx Bantz, so there's always one that tries to go out there and actually, like, do a proper lap at a proper race. Like, what's with that, Jake? Why do they do it?
I don't know. And there will be people who want to stay out of trouble early and make sure that they are spending the least amount of time on pit road and getting out of trouble, basically. And I think it's a viable strategy. I think it's a good strategy, but it's one that has the drawback of, at some point, you are going to have to stop. You are going to have to slow down. And ultimately, you're going to be in that for a car where damage is going to happen anyway. So I sort of see it like, well, if you're going to get damaged, you might as well take a tow. You might as well get back out there. Because come the end of the race, you're still going to be closing down like lap on lap if you just want to breeze by people. And with a good 2-minute lap on normal pace, on slow pace in the last lap, which is going to be probably about 20 minutes at the rate of about 40 miles an hour average lap, it's probably going to be a chance you can get back about 6 or 7 laps just by driving around everyone. And I think that's going to be great. And I'll tell you something that's actually also going to be great is actually how much diversity the Maxx Bantz 3 is currently on course to have. Because we currently have 6 women signed up, which I think is a iRacing record for most women in a race.
Cool. That's great.
Yeah, well done. That's really good news. And Norrie, I know that you're one of those 6, and it's fantastic to see that we can reach out to the wider community.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with who I am, and I'm staying that way.
I should make that 7 then.
Big girls don't
The Australian Idol of the Flat Chat podcast. Right here.
Well, I think Jake Sparey wants to be the Australian Idol. That's what this whole thing's about.
I'm the world's idol.
Oh, dear. The humbleness is overwhelming, guys. I just get so touched by this feeling.
Can you stop touching yourself?
Oh, wow.
Oh, we've gone to that level, have we?
Wow.
Jake, back to the ending of the race, these happy endings of Maxx Bantz. Can you tell me, is there a strategy that you can see that you've seen over the last 2 Maxx Bantz that you could give some pointers and some tips for those out there that are stuck in that big 15-car pile up at 40 kilometres an hour, like slowly crawling like a snail towards the finish line? What have you seen that you can give some pointers on the best way to get that position and to win the race?
Point 1, stay away from the pack. I think that if you're going to try and win this race, you're not going to be able to control your own pace if you're sandwiched 8 wide heading to the Casio Triangle, for example. You need to be able to, sometimes it's stay on the grass, cut the chicanes, just slow it all right down because slowdowns won't mean anything. Instant points don't mean anything. Just get yourself out and away from the melee and try and judge where that position is, which is almost impossible when the lap times just keep slowing down more and more and more.
Do we have fast repairs?
Unlimited.
Good.
Hey, Norrie, you shouldn't... Yeah, I don't think Norrie has a bit of a shout because he loves being sandwiched 8 wide. But that's a different story.
Wow.
We'll save that for the after... We'll save that for the after
How would that even
dark.
happen?
Quite easily in Australia, I would have thought. I think the second point is don't be afraid to use the pit roads. I like Suzuka Moto's layout because it's got actually 2 of them. And so you can pretty much sneak away unsighted. You can wreck whoever you want. Just if you sit on pit road and go, hard left or whatever it is, I think that there is a lot of opportunity to go out there and attack. And I think the third and most important point to remember is once the driver looks to try and cross the line on that last lap and gets near to the line, the iRacing system will wave a checkered flag, and then you have X amount of time to get yourself over the line and finished, and that includes the leader as well. Otherwise, the iRacing system will go back to the last finished lap, and you want to be in a situation where you're 10th with a lap to go when you cross the line, because if nobody's crossing that line, it's an automatic victory.
So I like the idea of at the end. I haven't seen this happen yet, but I think what some of the drivers should organise is like when you set up a billiard table and you've got the cue ball ready to break the pack. Just as the cars are about to go across the line, you need someone to just full ball, hammer and tong, come down that straight, 250 k's an hour and just crash straight in like a break on a billiard table.
Except the start-finish line is incredibly early at Suzuka.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Oh, dear. Well, maybe up the reverse up the straight. Come from turn one.
And then get disqualified for going backwards.
Oh, I thought there was no
But
rules.
if someone flies off the top of the hill.
It's not my fault, those rules. Those are iRacing rules. I can't change
Damn
those.
iRacing.
So I thought this thing had no rules, mate.
It has a couple of rules. It has a couple, but it's a couple of good rules. I think I have to preface it is a couple of good rules. So all contact is allowed at all times.
Good rule.
Yep, brilliant.
Good rule.
Yep, move on. Yep.
We talked about the random position, which is drawn after 30 minutes between position 2 and position X, which is basically second to last car on a certain lap who's running. The important rule If you retire from the race, you shall be sent to the Shadow Realm and forever labelled as a cuck, and you will be shaved.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You do not want
Jesus.
You don't want that.
Those rules went
Weird.
from rather decent to, oh my god, in 3 seconds. That was brilliant.
Well, here's a decent rule coming up. Memes are not mandatory, but they are necessary for success.
Bonus points?
Yeah, that's
I
good.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Jake, the Dungeon Master Sparey. Yeah, that's a good point. I think the field should be full of memes, though. I mean,
It should be.
I mean, look at our drivers: Christopher Kessie, Norris, Richards. Bloody memes. 3 memes sitting right there in the field.
I don't want to name Corey Ott or Bo Albert, but, you know, they're in there too.
Yeah, and of course you can banter as much as you like on the in-game communications, within reason. So you got to be cautious about, the obvious things, racism, sexism, discrimination, harassment, all of that. Because I'm not afraid to pull over and swing my unruly banhammer, which is several inches long.
Several inches. Look out. Look out, peeps.
Yeah, boys. If Thomas McMillan's registered for this thing, I'm going to lose it.
I do mean unruly, by the way.
It has a mind of its own, this band hammer.
It is going to be a massively crazy race.
Gee, you sound excited for it, Norrie. Jeez, relax.
Calm down, Norrie.
Yeah, I know, mate. You need, I know. You need to slow down on those coffees by the sound of things. I enjoyed the last one so much. I'm really looking forward to this one to see. I mean, it sounds like there's quite a few personalities that I'd like to mix it up with, to be honest. So,
Can I just put a call out to everyone? If you cannot get yourself into Maxx Bantz, tune into the broadcast or watch it, because you will laugh your ass off for an hour and some.
And not only that, if you want to join Maxx Bantz, in the description below, there will be the sign-up form.
Guys, do sign up. Sign up to Maxx Bantz, because really, if nothing else, you get free shots to punt Jake Sparey off the track. And who doesn't want to do that?
I know. Oh, and even better, if it goes over 60 vehicles, which is the maximum grid slots, we will hold a practice session the day before the race, which will be decided top split, half and half. Most incidents goes to top split.
Hang on. Hold the phone. Pre-qual for Maxx Bantz.
It's coming,
Yeah.
Norrie.
Yeah.
It's coming, mate.
This
is great.
is next
This
level.
is-
This is taking it up a notch.
This is only Maxx Bantz 3, too. Think about it. There's plenty of years to come.
Watch out, Scops.
Yeah,
Watch
there's
out.
plenty of years.
Yeah.
We have named the next 6 years of Maxx Bantz races.
Really? So tell me the lineage of the name, because Revenge of the Yeet, what happened to this poor, victimized Yeet? What happened last time? Why is he after revenge?
Well, everyone yeeted too hard in Sim Racing Boogaloo, so
Just
the Yeet
overwhelmed.
got a little bit offended, so it's decided that it wants to strike back with all its mini Yeetlets.
Oh, shit. It sounds like a hoot, you could say. The Yeetlets.
Look, a hoot it, I believe, is the terminology. Sam Blacklock, Thomas McMillan, and Stenny, shout out.
You know, this whole Maxx Bantz actually makes me think of.
I heard it.
There's this whole thing with the Battle Royale, Fortnite. What's it? The other one called PUBG. It's like the movie, The Hunger Games. It's what it feels like. It feels like an all-out, just made the last person standing or the last person in 10th position win. Now, Hunger Games, Jake, it feels like you're entering like a Katniss Everdeen, like the hero of the people to bring down the tyrannical reign of the Empire, which is that commentary booth that you've fallen from to join into the race. Now, do you see yourself as a Katniss Everdeen or a bit of a Snow? I don't know if you're familiar with the movies, because you are the saviour of the people, Sparey. We need you to win.
Are you Clive Palmer, is what he's saying?
I'd rather see myself as Akihiro Kayaba from Sword Art Online. Just to preface, we're not in Japan for any odd reason. I am a huge otaku. I have to admit that much at least. And it's sort of like, I am this good guy, but, at the same time, these 51 drivers who have signed up already, if they decide to race, and if all of them decide to race, let's be perfectly clear about this. They're pretty much puppets to test iRacing to its limits as well.
Wow. It started, folks.
The challenge has been set. Break iRacing.
Jake, you do know that you're the one that came up with the WinRAR trophy, the fantastic WinRAR trophy that you can stick on your fridge. But You do know that if you win the thing, you're not going to be. There's no anime girls waiting for you at the gates of Suzuka. You do know that.
Not for me personally, no, but that's why I joined Swift Racing, because I get an anime girl contract.
And we've seen the pictures, mate. There was a bit of a picture that someone got a good close up of your car on of your V8 supercar, and there's some pretty raunchy stuff on your car. But that's a chat for another time. But yeah. Speaking of your car, let's just go quickly into dev racing. How's that going?
It went okay.
Let's get serious.
Okay, let's get very serious. In the last dev race, I went full Maxx Bantz, and after 300 metres, I wrecked out half the back of the field.
Okay, practicing.
I remember seeing Jake Sparey's registered to the development series. Then I remembered seeing the next post by you on that forum was, I'm sorry for the pile up on lap 1
at Monza. That was different. Monza was different because I went into the corner. I made the lightest touch, and there was a little bit of netcode in there as well. I just see him swing left. I'm like, okay, he's moved out a bit of room, and now I just see this massive swing right behind me, and I see on my screen contact 0x to 4x. I'm like, he hasn't just hit other people, has he? Yeah, he's hit half the field back of me. And I was starting 8th, and I got the most shocking start in the world. I dropped like 8 positions off the start because I over-revved it.
I want to ask how you do that on a controller, but I just don't think I'm ready to comprehend that.
Look, I've got to say as well, shout out massively to the guys who run OSR development series, Simon Black, Michael Korolev, Simon King, etc. Because to be able to put up with someone like Sparey in your family,
yeah,
like you must.
Well, they
you
put
must
up
be
with
doing
me
a
for
cracking
5
job.
seasons, so they've got enough in their bank, so to speak, to put up with further.
Yeah, but come on, Nori. I mean,
Sparey and Nori.
you just don't have that. You don't have that
It
humble
got pretty
attitude,
heated in the
Nori.
mid pack.
So obviously the trajectory to the first split top 10 of Scops, Jake, is definitely on the cards. I hope you do well in development series because, mate, those guys in the top split, they're going to love you coming in with your PS3 controller. They're going to love that.
Oh, yeah, they are. And it'll do even better with the Jared Philcell boat setup.
Shh, there might be newbies listening. You never know. We're going to have to rename that setup. We're still getting people, mate. That's still catching him. That's catching him out. It's like when you put the trawl lines out to catch the kilometres worth of fish out there. They're still getting caught, mate.
Don't worry, it's actually not called that anymore anyway. It's completely different now. So
is it called the AWOL Nation setup? Because all you've got to do is sail.
No, mate, no.
Hey, now listen, I just want to ask one more thing, and I want to know, this is probably the most pressing topic of the show, of the Maxx Bantz, of the entire month, actually. I need to know, Jake, will we be seeing Cone Cam at Maxx Bantz 3, Revenge of the Yeet?
I don't know. That's up to Jay if he wants to do it. But at the moment, Cone Cam is a property of RaceBot TV, and it would have to be an off-brand Cone Cam. So, it might have...
an Audi one.
Hat cam or...
No, well, when there's so much talent involved in these things and the demand for such things is so high, it does get a bit sticky, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And that's why Zurich was a nightmare to get out of.
Why? Because all the fans wanted that they needed Cone Cam.
Exactly.
So, Jake, I reckon this is the time, mate. Here's your time. Here's your plug. Give it a good crack. Why should people sign up to Maxx Bantz?
Have you not been listening, Cassie?
No, I haven't. Sorry, mate. I've been...
People
away.
normally skip to the end anyway. It's good. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, I am a limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeler dealing, sim racing, son of a gun. I am hashtag Do You Mind Jake Sparey, pretending to be, of course, the nature boy, Ric Flair. Woo! To be the man, you first have to crash the man. And that's what everyone needs to understand. You may be sent up high to Space Mountain, but you understand that Maxx Bantz 3 Revenge of the Yeet, the opportunity for the WinRAR trophy, woo! Boy, there's nothing better like it. Woo!
Woo!
Woo! That has been the Flat Chat podcast, or the Jake Sparey Special Edition Maxx Bantz podcast, as it should be known.
The invasion.
That has been the invasion of the hashtag Do You Mind, the Sim Racing Observer. It's been brilliant having you on here talking about Maxx Bantz. Catch all the action. Is it on V8 Online?
It will be.
Very good. V8 Online this Saturday. Suzuka Moto, the Cadillac. It's going to be crazy, boring, batshit insane.
9 GMT, by the way.
9 GMT. So if you're in Australia, that's about 6 p.m.
Yes.
After much argument the other night, that was determined. So that'll be then. I think for now, though, we're out of fuel. We're out of time. That was the podcast. Catch us all on the next one.
Hashtag, thanks, Nori, for hosting. You're never hosting again. Thanks.
Fuck it, we'll do it live!
We'll do it live!
Woo!
Yeet.
Out on the patio we sit, and the humidity we breathe. We watch the lightning crack over cane fields and laugh and think this is Australia.
We'll do